All right, man. It's my day. It's Odin's day. Welcome to the Jimmy Ninja Entertainment Show. Hope everybody's having a great day, great week. Let's get it. This guy made his own spearfishing gun, so you already know. Come on. We're in a very heated political climate right now. Many years, I never followed politics, was never really interested in it. I was an athlete, focused on my sport, focused on music. And then the last several years, man, there's so much buzz about these political guys and what's going on. And I just started feeling like, man, I need to get clued in and see what's going on. So I took my highly rational, highly analytical mind, highly creative mind, and just focused in that realm for a second. And it didn't take me very long to figure out it was a sham, because I just see things that way. When you grow up Asian American in West Texas in the late 70s, one of the things you get is put outside the fishbowl, because you don't really fit in with anyone. You try to fit in with everyone, try to, learn to be American, all that great stuff, which I have and I am. But still, there's a lot of things that go along with being American that aren't always good for the American people, like false patriotism, the conditioning that we're put under through culture and our government to be a certain way, to live a certain way. So I got a lot of things and thoughts, that have come up about it. One of the first things I realized that this whole left and right thing was a smoke and mirror show. It was two wings on the same bird. Everyone in the government, for the most part, big majority, have got their hands in the cookie jar of pharmaceutical companies and big government and big corporations and global domination. And so they're not telling you the truth. They're just telling you whatever they think you need to hear so that you will live peacefully and be a great consumer, because that's their most important, asset that you have for them besides your labor, which is kind of cycling itself out, because as AI takes over, a lot of that labor will not be needed. Yet they'll always find a use for, their slaves. And this just is something that's gone on for thousands of years, of there being people in charge and people being under them, and them trying to control those people under them. And recently I just had this really crazy epiphany. In the late 70s, we were hitting a sexual revolution, a cultural revolution, a peaceful revolution where people were waking up and wanted that freedom that we have been told is ours. And crazy thing was, right there around the end of the 70s, when that cultural lift was occurring, all of a sudden AIDS hit the cultural lexicon. Now, I don't know how crazy that is, but to think that all of a sudden a virus that had never existed just kind of popped up all of a sudden, as there was this big cultural revolution, and then we went through this 80s period of conservatism and it kind of like stifling that freedom and controlling it and putting it back in its box. And that's something I think we've seen over the history of culture, where the people are rising and wanting to express their freedom and express themselves and maybe get out of the machine, get out of the matrix, and find their own life, whether it's through entrepreneurship or following their arts and creativity instead of being a cog in the wheel. And then some force comes and pushes it all back down. Right before COVID hit, we had one of the most amazing times of entrepreneurs and small businesses blowing up. And then all of a sudden, their virus hits and a lot was observed. Not only did they destroy a lot of small businesses, including my own, and destroyed a lot of new entrepreneurs coming up, a lot of people had to start over. And so it worked. Not only did it work, but they found this thing that they could kind of like systematically do, that they could also, I don't know, did it? I don't know. Oh, you're just sick. It's just the normal. And so I think the manipulation that we're seeing, and a lot of people are waking up, because people aren't dumb. At least a lot of people aren't dumb. And the rationale of seeing what's going on is really disheartened so many of us. That's one of the reasons why I'm a real big supporter of RFK right now. All of my research about him, all of my research of his life, all my research of his work, has come out, very high. And so voting is still real. I implore you to do your research and look into him and look at the option, because independent has won before. The world, the country is so sick and tired of these professional politicians that are, supposedly we're trillions in debt, yet they're all millionaires. Supposedly we're, just suffering and struggling as a country, and we're in a depression and a inflation, and yet these guys and these companies are getting richer and richer. So there's either that's the truth, or there's a lie being perpetrated from the top down that's trying to control us and make us believe that the world is a certain way, when a lot of us are waking up and realizing it's not at all. I've said before, whether the voting is still real or not, like Hunger Games, at least I think your purchasing power is. And at the end of the day, a lot of these people care about their bottom line and their power and control more. And that's one of the things where the masses have control over what we buy, what we purchase. When you research into companies and whether they're green companies, whether they're taking care of the people in the world, whether they've shipped their companies out of the country and, blamed everyone else, even though it's these greedy CEOs and boards of these companies that want this. So I hope everyone's waking up the way I know I'm waking up, and I know a lot of my friends on social media that follow me have woke up. So keep waking up, keep figuring out ways to take actions, keep meeting and grouping and having discussions with people that are, smart enough to have those discussions with you. And if you find yourself in ego battles, just drop those, man. They're a waste of time. One of the things I'm glad about is so many of my friends that were either far left or far right have moved to a more centered, balanced place where I am today, where I used to see so many of these left and right arguments on my feed, and now a lot of the people are saying what I'm saying because it's just obvious to a rational person. So, what we can do, I don't know, but education is always key, communication is always key, action is always key, consistency is always key. So if you can figure out those 4 things and what you can do in that formula of, what did I just say, bud?
Action, consistency. What was the first one? Definitely action and consistency.
They're on the video. Go back and listen to it. But man, Jimmy Ninja Entertainment, we're not just here to entertain and share music and art and awesome things, but also lots of great information, spiritual stuff, economical stuff, creativity, what's going on in the world, what's going on in your neighborhood, what's going on in your family, what's going on with your friends, and what's going on within you, most importantly. This is the place where everything is solved. One of my favorite poems I have here in Aramaic by Rumi, and it says, "I spent my whole life knocking at the door to find I was standing on the inside." So think about that one for a minute. All right, Jimmy Ninja Entertainment Show. Keep it kung fu. That's what you got to do. All right, man. You got to work out. It's the quickest, cheapest way for you to maintain your youth, just by training. I put 45 minutes in 5 days a week, 15 minutes at the end. I do stretching and breathing. And you got to. It's a got to. Come on. Let's go. Get it. Hey brothers and sisters, do you love the beach as much as I love the beach or being outdoors? If you do, and you don't want to drag everything through the woods, or like I do with 2 kids that don't help me, everything through the beach, go to www.kahunawagons.com. All right, this is an American company right here in Jupiter, Florida, USA. They're making the most amazing tow wagons for the beach. Get you one soon, all right? Jimmy Ninja in the house. Let's go.
And where down we